We're here at Telecom One-on-One, a JSNA power networking event, and joining us today is Mr. Rick Peppers, CEO of Telplexus. Good afternoon, Rick.
Nice to see you.
Can you tell us a little bit of what Telplexus is and what you guys do?
I can. We're an engineering firm. We're based out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, just southeast of Nashville. We operate in about a dozen states, mainly in the southeast. Provide full range of engineering services from GPS, GIS services, plans and specifications. We do right-of-way acquisition, and pretty much the gamut. We also, our primary customer base is the independent cooperative markets. We assist them in borrowing money from the USDA, the Rural Utility Service, and in addition to helping them borrow the money, we assist them throughout the process, through the design, through detailed engineering plans and specifications, contract management, construction inspection services, and right through what's termed as closeout documents, all the way through the very end to ensure that that our clients received all that they were due in the way of contracts and what what the contractor services that the construction contractor services they performed to ensure that they met the guidelines and specifications that our U.S. Dictates. So that
customized consultation and engineering on behalf of your clients, that seems like what your key differentiator is in the industry. I mean, what do you see as your key differentiators?
I would say for that particular market, that I would say that you're correct, and probably like most firms, our people are probably our biggest asset, and to allow us a diverse. We have a pretty diverse management team and employees, for that matter, for their backgrounds. Our management average over 20 years in telecom. And a handful of us had operating experience where we worked directly for the telephone companies at some point in our lives, and some for soft switch manufacturers where they actually helped design a soft switch, and some from surveying backgrounds. So it's a pretty diverse group, and in that it allowed us some years ago to incorporate some of those other technologies from surveying, aerial photography, LiDAR, those kinds of things, to incorporate that into our standard everyday engineering services, where it allowed us to be a lot more competitive. And at the time, our firm's about 13 years old, and when we started, it was right at the peak of telecom, just prior to the burst, and people were very difficult to come by. Good people, as generally. But in that being the case, we started looking around for different ways of producing a product with all the so labor-intensive process, and so we incorporated the aerial photography and GPS in lieu of going out with what we used to do. When I first started, we'd just go out with a blank sheet of paper and we'd just start drawing, and then and that was our construction drawings. And so in the 13 years, we've come a long way. We don't do any of those things anymore. So, and it allows us to do a lot more work, and without the labor, and provide a much better product. Our clients are provided with a product now that's not only can be used for construction, but for their records, their plant records, after we've long since gone, that they can use it for depreciation of assets and actually find out where those assets are. You can have a map that's tied to a state plane coordinate system where you can actually see where those locations are, or where those assets are, and so much better than a hand-drawn drawing that's relevant to basically nothing but itself. So it gives them a lot of added benefit in addition to a timeliness to market, as this is generally very critical anyway. So.
Now, from your vantage point, which must be, amazing, what you've seen in the past 13 years as CEO of Telplexus, what do you see as upcoming trends? Just a quick synopsis.
I think for this year, for the next few years, of course, in the sector that we operate primarily in the independent and cooperative, with the ARA stimulus projects, are going to be a substantial part of of that type of work this for the next few years. And long haul seems to be. We used to do a lot of that back, when there was a lot of that to do, it seems like there's a lot more talk about those kinds of projects as well. And then fiber to the tower, it seems to be those type of projects are really being discussed quite a bit. So I think the next few years are going to be, the regular. Ours is so regulatory driven. The market that we're in, the slightest changes either way in USF support and those kinds of things really can either fuel the fire or put a big damper on it. So I don't see that they're going to change that. I could be wrong, but it's I don't see that they'll change that much for the short term anyway. So I think the next couple of years are actually pretty promising, actually.
I think you're right. Thank you so much for your time, Rick. And if you'd like to learn more about Telplexus, please visit telplexus.com, TELPLEXUS.com. Thank you.